Okay, good afternoon, everyone. So we've been dreading this day. We've been trying not to think about it for the longest time. And not that this day wasn't already bad enough that, Samachin, Jishikochima, and Ruben have to leave. Leave it to Samachin to pick the hottest Sunday of the year to be his last day here. Seriously, Samachin, it's like 90 degrees outside. Really? And it's already like 12:30. So just keep that in mind. That's how much our church loves you, because we're all still sitting here in our, in our chudadars, in our suits, and we're still sitting here for you. Mostly for Jishakochima, but for you also. So I was trying to think about the first day that I met Samachin, and we were at the Church Edema Commission retreat, and there was like a few of the youth there, and the parents came up to us and they told us, the new youth chaplain is here. And we're like, oh, okay, great, where's he staying? Oh, right next door to you. And we're like, oh, okay, great. So what's he like? They're like, his name's Reverend Matthew Scudia. I was like, Matthew Scudia? What kind of a name is that? I was like, okay. So he came and he addressed us, and Kochima was so polite and so loving. She hugged us. She didn't even know us. We came out of the pool and she hugged us. Achin stood a little distance away, and he was just like, oh, I'm glad to see some of the Philadelphia youth. And we're like, oh, okay, yeah, it's nice to meet you too. He's like, you can call me Samachin. We're like, okay, that's good. We can call him Samachin. So, time has passed, and now he's become our Samachin, and we're now his Philly youth. He goes, hey, my Philly youth. And because of us, he's become a devoted Philadelphia Eagles fan. Just to let him know. He has to remember that. So, when I was trying to think about what to say here today, some of the things that people have mentioned about Samachin is that he's inspirational, he's friendly, he's available. I was like, okay, those are good things to talk about, so let's think about that. Inspirational. So, Ronnie already mentioned that Samachin made this wonderful speech about stress at the perfect time for us. During finals, he talked about stress, and we're like, okay, great, Samachin's going to reassure us, he's going to comfort us. First thing that comes on the screen is, you are not perfect. Okay, all right. I was like, okay, he's building up for something. He's like, be ready for disappointment. All right, okay, it's getting better. He's just like, life is full of discouragement. All right, and I was like, okay, Samachin's leading to something. And then Ronnie was nice about it. He said that Samachin, at the end of his speech, said, God will make a way for you. No, Samachin takes the slideshow. There's about 30 verses, like reference from John, and he's like, this will help you guys out when you guys are taking your finals. The end. Oh, okay, thanks, Samachin. So I thought about that, and I was like, what was he trying to do there? See, this is Samachin's trick. Most achins, they try to encourage the youth. Most achins think that's our job, we have to encourage the youth. No, Samachin, he does the opposite. He tries to mess with you. He doesn't discourage you necessarily, but he tells you the truth. So that's why Samachin's unlike most achins, right? Correct? Right? It's unlike most achins. All right. So, inspirational, let's think. So, they mentioned that he made some, messages, right? Most achins, they quote from the Bible, right, achin? They use the Bible, right? They quote from the Bible, life experience, testimony, people they met. Samachin, he quotes from movies. The Dark Knight, Finding Nemo, like you mentioned. I was kind of disappointed, achin, you didn't find a reference today for us. And then Forrest Gump. If an achin can find a reference to our lives from a movie called Forrest Gump, he's doing a good job. So he is unlike most achins. So, moving on. So he's friendly. Just looking at this family, they're like a Kodak picture right here, if you just look at them. They're always smiling. Samachin, I think sometimes we would forget that he's an achin. Sometimes I think he would forget that he's an achin. Because, he would talk to us like, hey, Elsa, what's up? I'm like, what's up, achin? Like, you didn't expect him to talk like that. And achin, sometimes when you see an achin, you're used to seeing an achin in their hupayom. You're used to seeing an achin, in nice pants, nice shirt, and their collar. Samachin will come to your house without calling, and he will be wearing jeans, loafers, a shirt opened up, no collar on. We're like, oh, okay. Samachin, he's just like, oh, I want to be like one of my youth. So, Samachin dresses like a farmer. He is unlike most achins. That's right. So, moving on to the last thing, available. If parents don't know what Facebook Samachin is Zach Matt. So you would think that we're being disrespectful, but no, that's what he is. He's Zach Matt online. And you think that he's trying to spy on you, but no, he's not. He likes to keep in touch with his youth. He likes to be on Facebook, get to know his youth. He likes to call you even if you don't pick up the phone. That's the beauty of voicemail. He'll leave you an angry voicemail why you don't pick up the phone, because if he's available, we always have to be available for him as well. So Samachin is unlike most achens, right? So on a more serious note, Reverend Matthew Scaria, the name Matthew means gift of God, right? The Hebrew meaning is gift of God. So I truly think that Samachin was a gift to us, a blessing. We didn't expect our achen to be so with the youth, so hands-on. Like Baby said, we weren't as familiar with Isaac achen, you know? Samachin was a little bit younger, Samachin was kind of hip, and we were kind of afraid to say that he was cool, but he was a cool achen, right? So a lot of people said, you know, our time was short here. It was too short with Samachin. I'm like, yeah, you know, the time was short, but I think that we have to make the most of the time that we have. And that's something that Samachin taught us. Make the best use of the time that you have. Oh, I'm sorry. That's from Forrest Gump achen. I know how to quote movies too, just to let you know. But just remember that our time is short, but the time that we spent was valuable. And even though we think that 3 years was a short time to spend with achen, it was a meaningful time. And if it was longer than that, it wouldn't be as special. And all of us youth, I can talk personally that Samachin has been so supportive, so comforting to us, and he's been, no matter what time of day it is, 4 o'clock in the morning, you know, whatever it is, he'll call you, he'll make sure he's aware of what's going on with his youth. So just remember, achen, you know, Philadelphia, Marthama Church, this is your church, always. So thank you. God bless.